Hello, my friends and fellow music makers and music fans. This is my first live stream in 2026, and I think my first live stream in like 2 or 3 years. So I'm not sure if everything works correctly. I would love to see you in the chat. Say hello, which country you are watching from, and if you make music, what type of music you create. So the stream today is the theme is let's chat about focus and goals for 2026. So I'm going to brainstorm a bit my personal goals, and you can also share in the comments what goals you have for this year. So I actually put on some music in the background, which is my own music, a playlist called Relaxing Fantasy Adventures. It's or an album even. And I thought we could have this in the background while we explore the goals and focus for this year. Let's see if we get some viewers. You can let me know in the comments if you actually hear me, because as I said, I haven't been doing a live stream for several years, and I tried to set it up as best as I could. But if you see any technical issues, please let me know in the comments. So what's playing right now, if I switch to this view in my live streaming software, you can actually see my album here, Relaxing Fantasy Adventures. And if you actually comment, I will see it here on the screen above, just above me here. I set up that. It should be working, I hope. That's my own comment there, but if you just let me know where you're watching from, say hello, everyone. And let's dive into the topic of today. So, I'm going to open up my web browser, Google Chrome, and here we are. Here we go. We have 2 viewers watching now according to the dashboard. Hello and greetings from Sweden, and please say hello in the chat here. And let's chat about your goals, my goals for 2026. So I have a few goals, but I also have some lessons learned in the last year, as we all do. What did not work and what did work. So something I have been chatting about with several other music producers, composers that also do YouTube is that educational videos, tutorials and tips has been declining since around 2020 or so, and just kept going down, down and down. So basically, music education is almost dead on YouTube now. So even bigger channels that I thought were big, my channel has something like 67,000 subscribers, and I did try to revive it by posting one music education video every single day for around 3 months now, I think, and the result was really catastrophic. With the 67,000 subscribers, my tips and tutorial videos only get like 200 or 300 views per video. And I've seen the same. I chatted with a couple of other music producers doing educational videos. If it's pure education, it does not really work anymore. So it's not only my channel, it's the same for everyone in this niche, which is super sad. So, but I mean, you cannot fight a huge trend in society. It's impossible. I tried. So even with 67,000 subscribers, this is my first lesson learned. Here are just a couple of examples of videos I created. You can see the CTR, or click-through rate, is catastrophic. It's only 1.1%, and the views, 128 views, even though I have 67,000 subscribers and have published around almost 2,000 videos since 2011 when I started. And what's worse is that they get an initial push because I have the subscribers, but then it dies. It doesn't really get any views at all after just that initial push. Here's another example. Just the initial push, and then basically completely flat, 214, 15. I like 2 views in 2 months. And I've decided I'm just going to give that up because it doesn't work anymore, and I cannot waste hours and hours of production and editing and don't get anything in return. So another thing I started last year, which several other YouTubers also did, what's it called? Pivot, change of direction. Started to try out the music reactions, especially game soundtracks. And here's an example. As you can see, this is from Claire Obscure. As you can see, this is, so the views here. The views are continuing to get views. That's what I want to see. That's what all the YouTubers want to see. It doesn't die here like my tutorial videos, educational videos does. They keep getting views. And I believe the reason for this is, I have to take some tea for my throat. I believe the main reason for this is it's entertaining to watch. It's just if you do pure tutorials, like strict tutorials and tips, that's education. But unless you provide any entertainment, it just falls flat. So here's another example. This is Elden Ring. Same story. You can see initial push when it gets pushed to subscribers, and then just keep getting views. So if you go back here to lessons learned, music education is almost dead now on YouTube. Music entertainment, example, reaction to soundtracks, works great. So that's one lesson. Also, another lesson I learned is that producing videos, meaning it means a lot, but basically I have several cameras, microphones, I have so much equipment going into this, and then when it all gets into the video editor, that's when the real work starts, because editing videos takes a lot of time. So editing takes too much time compared to what I'm doing right now, which is a live stream. So this video will not be edited. It's just straight to you. I can switch here in OBS, the live streaming app I use. So we could, for example, change the camera like so. I have my second camera. This is the main camera. Then I have my second camera. I can switch to that. Hey guys. And please say hello in the chat and which country you are watching from. I would love to hear from you. And also, if you do, your comment should pop up right here above me. I hope, if I have set this all up correctly. But basically, let's see, video editing takes too much time. And solution, live streaming could work great. Also, there's another type of video I thought about doing, which is basically live streaming, but not live, if that makes sense. I guess I could set this up in I could set this up in OBS, and then instead of going live, I could record it if I wanted to. But that would mean not as much editing, or basically any editing, if I don't want to. So those are some lessons learned in 2025, at least regarding YouTube. Cheers. Now, the next thing is regarding goals, and I would love to hear what your goals are for business goals, if you have a YouTube or social media channels, and more importantly, if you make music, what are your goals for your music in 2026? So, for example, here, focus mainly on live streaming is one thing I'm going to do on YouTube. Whoops. Let's see, let's add main goal. I want to hit 1 million monthly video views. I mean, that's a huge goal. I have something like 60,000 monthly views on my long form videos, real videos, if you don't count the shorts views. Yeah, also another lesson learned is short form videos. Well, basically, short form videos does not has extremely low ROI, you could say. Oh, we have our first comment, and it actually works. Hello, Van Crusher, and welcome to this live stream. The theme for this live stream is we are chatting about our focus and goals for 2026. So regarding your question, I actually don't remember. Well, yeah, what synth did I use? Yeah, the last reel I did was on Spectrasonic's VST plugin Trillion, which is all about bass. But I don't want to dive into other. I want to keep it on topic here, so focus on the goals in 2026. So I could ask you, what are your goals for business, your social media and content, if you do any, and music goals? So for example, here, Spotify goal, I want to reach 100k monthly listeners on my Bardstorm. Bardstorm is my artist name. Artist profile. Since I'm new to live streaming again, I haven't been live streaming for so long. That number 1, is that just this first comment that you have there, Van Crusher? If you're used to watching live streams, I don't know what these icons and things mean. So we have 5 viewers, so I just want to say hello. Let's do this so you can actually see me. Hello everyone, greetings from Sweden, where it's still winter. Please say hello in the chat here and where you are watching from. so we can engage in the chat. But basically, we're talking about 2026 focus and goals. You can share your goals as well. So these are some of my lessons learned. So long form videos work best when longer than, let's say, 12 minutes. I've seen that because many of the long form videos I've been making is like 2 to 3 minutes. And basically I've seen that YouTube pushes either short form content like 20-30 second shorts or longer long form videos for some reason. So if I do any longer form video, then it would have to be much longer. Let's say this could be like 50 minutes. So live streaming, live or semi-live. Let's see. Then for the business goals. Oh, hello, Chebure Compressor. I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah. Thank you so much. Haven't watched much YouTube. So yeah, we're talking about goals and visions for this year, so you can share what yours goals are as well. So for example, my music goal is I have like let's see, how many monthly listeners do I have? This is my artist profile. Can I actually post this? I would love if you followed me here. That's my album, Relaxing Fantasy Adventures. And if I go to my profile, you can see I now have 6,400 monthly listeners. So I have a huge goal, which is to get from this to 100,000 monthly listeners. I know, but I feel that it's always good to set really high goals so you can aspire to achieve them. They will actually be meaningful. Let's see. I also want to produce one full album this year. I have not decided which style, but basically my artist project is all about fantasy-inspired music, epic fantasy, atmospheric, relaxing fantasy, which you are listening to right now, this album here. So it might be like a dark fantasy album or epic. I also have a lot of real instruments and ancient instruments like hagelharpa, an ancient or medieval Nordic instrument, and stuff that I use in my music. One goal I have for my business this year is get a job as a social media manager / content creator, or freelance for a music tech brand. For example, Heaviosity, Museo, yeah, and so on. One of those music technology product developers that focus a lot on products for music composers like us. So that would be amazing if I could get a job in this field, because I have 25 years in music production, but I also have 15 years now in video production. I probably spent, well, at least 10,000 hours producing and editing videos. Yeah, Museo is really amazing. Actually, I really prefer the Museo interface more than Contact for some reason these days. I think it's because it's so easy to navigate between different sample libraries and sounds and presets inside that interface. Contact gets a bit cluttered in the interface when the library is on the left side, and it's really hard to find the correct patches inside libraries as well, I think, in my experience at least. So yeah, simplicity. It's the same with if I switch. Actually, let's switch to just a quick switch to Logic. This has my favorite. Omnisphere is still my favorite plugin of all time, and what I love about it is one thing I love about it is the preset interface. You can really dial deep here, and go through all these things here to find the perfect sound. So you don't have to browse if you take this like watch all and all. Oh well, now we're in the wait, all Omnisphere. This should be much more. Anyway, so good categorization to find the sound you need as quickly as possible is something I value a lot. Let's switch back to the theme for today's stream. So, as I mentioned, let's see, I'm actually in the way. Let's... can I put this to the side? How do I zoom out? Like so. I don't know how to scroll left, right in... anyway. Instagram... By the way, do you use Instagram a lot and watch videos there? I have been posting every single day for one, or at least one, video on Instagram for 1.5 years. And I actually built up my channel to... Let's see if I can... If I just drag this over, 13.1 thousand followers. But as you can see, I have made a lot of posts, and all of these posts are reels, so I've been doing that a lot. But there I have a goal to... Main goal... I don't want this in bold like that. Basically, my main goal with this Instagram is partner with a music tech brand long term. That is the goal I have, which again could be music, could be Heaviosity. That is one of my main business goals or personal goals, is to become instead of just publishing videos for free and don't get anything from it, I want to turn this into a job, freelance or hired. What do you all work in which field are you working in, like daytime? So let's see, for my music I actually have I have 3 artist profiles, which is crazy. I know I shouldn't have done it, but I did it many years ago. So I have Bardstorm, as I linked to, and then I have Nordic, which is Nordic Viking inspired music. Let's take a quick look at that. This one. And then I have Dark Domains, which is dark ambient music here. So, I mean, not the best strategy long term, but oops, I forgot to turn off my phone. But that's what I did. Let's see, is the live streaming working great? Do you see everything clearly and do you hear everything? How's the volume for the music? Is it too loud, too quiet for the background music? So for my music goals, you want to really focus on what works long term, because producing music and making, thanks for letting me know everything works, producing one track or a full album is a huge project. So I want to make sure that this album I produce has a high chance of working towards my big goal of getting 100,000 monthly listeners on my Baggström profile. So I'm not sure which genre of fantasy music or cinematic music can work best. If it's dark ambient, if it's this type, the relaxing fantasy music, or if it's epic cinematic music. How many tracks have you published? Chebure. Sorry, I cannot pronounce it. So Instagram is really... I think I will make Instagram my second focus this year. Oh, by the way, something really focus on live streaming. Also, live streaming reactions to soundtrack music, or specifically game soundtrack music. Plus semi-live is something I will do a lot more. A friend of mine who is also a Swedish music composer and YouTuber recently switched to making these types, live streaming reactions to game soundtracks music, and his channel went from like flat or declining to really picking up speed again, which I find very inspiring and motivating, because my channel has been declining and all the music educators channels has been declining for at least 6-7 years now, steadily, because people prefer entertainment these days. It's just a fact of life. Just gotta go with what works. So let's see, music education, where are we with the musical Instagram goals? Should I have like, yeah, let's do this. I don't know if any specific follower goal is that valuable on Instagram, to be honest, or on YouTube. I don't think subscribers or followers mean that much these days compared to back when I started on YouTube, because as I said, even with 67,000 subscribers, I only get around like this 200 views on a music education video. 200 views on 67,000 subscribers, that's not good. So whereas again here 7.2k views for this reaction, and you can see it's still getting views. I haven't tried live streaming reaction videos yet, but I think it could be really fun also to interact with you guys in the chat as we listen to and react to these tracks from the amazing game soundtracks out there together. So that's this live streaming reactions to game soundtrack music. Instagram, well, I think my main goal is basically just partner with the music tech brand long term. Like I mentioned here, get a job as a social media manager, content creator. I would love to work with Heaviosity, music which is basically Cinesamples. In case you didn't know, that's the same company. It's just the music is their new interface they use. Or perhaps Stressov Sampling, which has my favorite strings library to this day, Afflatus Strings. Really amazing. I mean, I play that a lot, as you can see here. This one. Oops, I have the music in the background. Anyway, this is because it has polyphonic legato on some patches, is such a joy to just play with both hands, the basses, the cellos, violas, violins, and everything. Let's see, some comments here. Released my first EP after 5 years music experience, learning music production. I have never released an EP. I only released singles and albums. Is there an advantage to release an EP, or is it just because it takes less time than a full album? Modern metal, cinematic, and orchestral textures. Ooh, I love that. They had some of that in the Clair Obscur soundtrack, if you have listened to that. Some heavy metal influences on top of the classical orchestral arrangements. Otherwise, I mean, I used to listen a lot to power metal back in the days. Sweden is really famous for power metal. Blind Guardian was one of my personal favorite, in case you are into heavy metal music. Melodic metal for me. So, let's see, where were we? What other focus and goals do you have for this year? Let's see, what else, what other goals can you have? I mean, you can have like personal and, you know, health goals and stuff like that, but I don't really care to put that in this Google Sheet. Hello, Todd Stevens. Todd T. Stevens. Where are you watching from? Greetings from Sweden. Still winter outside, but it's always warm in my studio. So the theme for this stream, my first live stream, I plan to make a lot of live streams this year. Oh, Germany. Cool. I have actually visited Germany once in Berlin. Very nice country. Let's see. Chebure. I'm still only at the beginning of my journey. My goal starts to make content on TikTok again. Tested this past year. I tried TikTok. I never got the hang of that platform. I felt it's too much still focused on, you know, very young audience, kids and youth. So I never found a place to fit in with my content on TikTok. Instagram feels more that, at least I get the impression that you can post more professional content than, you know, music playing. These reels that I do on Instagram and YouTube Shorts, they didn't get any views on TikTok, because you need to like entertain or be funny and stuff on TikTok. At least that was my impression. Oh, thank you so much. So, as you can see from this Google Sheet I'm working on, it's the theme for this live stream is 2026 focus and goals. So these are some of the lessons I learned this past year. Hello, Savannah Music. Where are you watching from? Greetings from Sweden. So, so live streaming will be a huge goal for me this year. Live streaming reactions to game soundtrack music. I'm also thinking about live streaming music production in action. I tried that in the past. The only issue is I have so many, you know, orchestral sample libraries and stuff going on that my computer may struggle live streaming, because I don't have a live streaming computer. I do it all on one computer. Another one from Germany. Greetings. So I might try that. Also, I know a few other music composers that have done live streaming music production, or music, let's say music composition. And I mean, I will do it if those can get really high views and continue. That's my goal basically for this year. I want to have videos that don't get this instant push and then die. I want to have videos that keep getting views, like these music reaction videos did. So I need to find videos that or live streaming that can do that. But I might try that. Another thing I might try is live streaming tests of music plugins and sample libraries. But that relies because I did a lot of these things for free before, but I need to get paid because I do this as a business. This is my business time. This is my day job, so I need to make an income from it. And so if any music tech developer wants to pay me for doing those things, I'm of course open to it. So live streaming, as you can see, will be a big thing for me now. Let's see. Do you have any content creation focus, guys? TikTok, I heard one of you said something about trying TikTok again. I mean, producing, editing, publishing content online, especially videos, takes so much time. So, and if you do it as a business, you really have to make sure that it's worth your time. I'm gonna do a little self-promotion again, because as you can see here, one of my big goals for this year for my music is to reach 100k monthly listeners. So I would love it if you follow me on Spotify if you enjoy cinematic music inspired by fantasy. That's the music I focus on myself in this Bardstorm artist project. Alright, let's go back. Yeah, so... And also, do you watch live streams on Instagram? I know you can actually do live streams on Instagram, but I'm not sure that people really watch live stream on these other platforms. YouTube feels like or Twitch potentially, like the places to be for live streams. Oh, you watch on Twitch? I think I still have my account profile on Twitch, but I haven't been on Twitch for years. It felt still that they try to get out from the gamer niche, but it still feels like it's so gamer oriented that it's hard to do. It's hard to get really high views on other types of live streams. That was my experience at least a few years ago when I tried it. So I'm not sure, but I could. I mean, live streaming, maybe on Instagram, but I'm still not sure. There is like live streaming in, this vertical short form live streaming on YouTube. Have you ever watched those? Because I feel it's a tricky format. The vertical mode. It doesn't really lend itself to, let's say, if I show something in Logic, it works better in widescreen format than watching on a computer monitor. But I'm so old school that I watch basically everything from my high resolution monitor in my music studio or my laptop. I don't really watch YouTube that much on mobile, personally. So, some lessons learned in 2025. Music education is almost dead on YouTube. Music entertainment, like reactions to soundtracks, works great. I also plan to reduce the time for video editing because it takes so many hours. So solution is live streaming or semi-live, where I record this in OBS and then publish on my YouTube channel. Also, I realized after 1.5 years of doing short-form content every single day that it has extremely low ROI. It's like people watch those videos for less time, and they don't really make a good business return of investment. Like, the time it takes is so much. Let's see, I've been producing since the late 90s. Oh, me too! I actually started when DAWs were like in its infancy, so I started on what's called... Do you remember that? Tracking software. It's like, this is so old school. Before DAWs, they had tracking. It was called Fast Tracker back in like 1996. Oh, you did? Oh, I also did trance and house music back in those times. I only switched to like cinematic music around... I started doing that in like early 2000s, but in the 90s I was hugely into electronic dance music. Actually, I also tried some rock, heavy metal over the years, ambient music, dark ambient particularly. I still do that a lot. I love atmospheric music, as you can hear from this atmospheric fantasy music in the background. So I'm just curious, how many tracks have you guys actually published, as I mean are on Spotify and the other streaming platforms? I checked my STIM, which is the performance rights organization where you registered all your tracks, and I'm up to, I think, 410 or 420, somewhere around there, published music compositions. Thank you so much. It's my album. This is my artist alias or artist name, Baggström, and as you can hear from the name, it's inspired by fantasy. I would love it if you saved my album, Relaxing Fantasy Adventures, guys. And if you add some of my tracks on playlists on your Spotify, that would mean a lot to me, because, as I mentioned, one of my big goals for this year is to go to from where I am right now, which is 6,428 monthly listeners, to 100k plus monthly listeners. A huge goal, but you have to dream big, right? And also work towards achieving it, of course. So I want to produce one full album, probably dark ambient, maybe. Can I do a poll? Does anyone know? Can I do a poll in the YouTube comments? I don't know if I can. Like plus here? Yeah, start a poll. Let's see. Your favorite cinematic music style. Ambient, relaxing music. Let's see. Epic music, or for example, dark atmospheric music. Let's see if this works. I have never tried this before. You can vote somewhere. I don't see it. Is it in the chat now? Epic music got one vote, I think. I'm still learning. I haven't live streamed for 2 or 3 years, so the YouTube interface looks a bit different now from back then. So maybe epic music. I did a batch of epic music in November, I think, like 7 tracks that I plan to add to maybe an album later on. How can I see what you voted on? Dark atmospheric music. I'm leaning towards that. What genres and styles are you going to focus on in 2026 for your music journey? Let's see. Epic music. No, epic music or dark ambient music. I'm leaning towards those because what you're hearing now is my ambient relaxing music, or as it's called, Relaxing Fantasy Adventures, the album. So I did that pretty recently, so I like to have some variation in my composing focus. So I'm leaning towards either an epic music album or dark ambient music album. Also, for my next live stream, this is like my first live stream and testing my new setup in OBS and everything, and doing this, brainstorming of focus and goals for this year. But next time I'm going to do my first live reaction, soundtrack music reaction, and I'm going to do it on the Elden Ring, the main game first, because many of you guys, or perhaps not you in here, but many of the people voting in my channel and leaving suggestions always recommend Elden Ring. I have never played that game myself, but I have listened to some of the tracks and it's really amazing. It really combines the epic music with the dark atmospheric music spectacularly well. So let's see a comment. I myself want to try different things, mainly orchestral music, different music styles. Any particular like vibe you're going for, like epic, orchestral, battle music perhaps, or atmospheric like this? Savannah. Also, since we're talking about game soundtracks, any particular new games that you love the soundtrack of? Write it in a comment so I can check it out and potentially do a live stream of that OST soundtrack. I think also, let's see, another thing I want to try is, if I do any more educational videos on YouTube, I think I will do semi-live. And I think I will do semi-live. Semi-live is what I call if I don't stream this, but actually do it as in my OBS live streaming software, but just record it. So of Logic Pro tips and tricks. Maybe those, as I said, those videos don't perform anymore. When I try it again on my channel now, they just get a couple of 100 views and then they die. Like all my music education videos in the past year, they just die, flat out die, like this. Start out here and then die, which is so sad, but it's the same for all music education channels. The only ones that work are those that are more storytelling, like a documentary, like Venus Theory, for example. It's more of a personal brand than just strict education screencasting from Logic or the DAW. And that's not really what I want to do, like documentary and storytelling. But that's the format that works if you do education these days. Or entertainment. As I said, my music reaction videos, they keep getting views. So that's the format I will focus on mainly. Maybe Omnisphere. I mean, Omnisphere, is there any other plugin that you use a lot of? Omnisphere is my number one plugin for sound design. Also, do you all use Logic Pro? Perhaps you use another DAW. Let's see the comments. Really sad. Education videos helped me so much a few years ago. Yeah, it's the current mindset and trend of the world is that people really prefer entertainment before education. I mean, I am friends with a handful of music educators doing tutorials and tricks, like Matthias from Sweden, and I chatted with him about this very issue, that it doesn't work anymore. It simply does not get views. They get a bit of views and then they die. Because, and also another reason is, I think, instead of searching for tutorials these days, many people just ask ChatGPT, how do I do this in Logic Pro or whatever, and get an answer. All right, so we have Ableton and Studio One represented. I actually tried Studio One a couple of years ago. One thing that, because I, as you guys know from my channel, I pretty much became one of the top Logic Pro experts. I really love Logic Pro. I used Cubase for 7 years before that, but I really preferred when I switched. After 2 weeks of switching in 2013 to Logic Pro, I felt immediately at home. But one thing that Studio One had that took Logic, the Apple team, so long to implement was the chord track. And now finally in the next update they will add automatic chord recognition. I mean, I have been asking them to do this for years, finally. But there are some features that Logic Pro has that I really could not live without, like screen sets, for example. I have 3 screens, so switching between screen sets and also transform controls for MIDI automation is amazing. No longer interested in music business, however my passion for producing in this studio will never end. Yeah. Logic Pro for life. It's for me, at least. Not using AI in educational purposes. No, but I think, I mean, I just have this hypothesis. Why else would music education get this? I mean, when I started focusing on Logic Pro in 2017 or something, they could get huge views and keep getting views. But no longer. If I do tips and tricks in Omnisphere, no longer. It's the same. It just gets 200 views and then they die. So the YouTube algorithm just serves what people want, and most people just don't want educational videos anymore. And if they do, they buy a course, I guess, instead. But yeah, entertainment is where it's at. But I mean, I will try live streaming music composition in action and see if those can get 100,000 views, or if they also die. I mean, I can always test and evaluate. I tested uploading every single day for 3 months now, and every educational video just dies like this. So lesson learned. I also tested short form content for 1.5 years every single day, and they don't make any money. They don't get, I mean, I will do it on Instagram mainly, also YouTube Shorts, but I mean, one YouTube short can take me like 2 hours to produce with 4 cameras, the screen cost and editing, synchronizing everything, and earn 0. I mean, practically, literally 0. So I need to find, for me, since I run a business, what works, what can actually get me any income, because to be honest, I've struggled hugely for the past years. Probably because I have been so much into music education, and sadly that doesn't work anymore. So I need to adapt my strategy, shift direction and path and focus in order to find what works. And what works one thing I have found that works is music reaction videos. So that's something. If you have any suggestions that you believe could get, like if I live stream music composition and action, do you believe those videos could get 100,000 views plus per video? Do you have any examples of other music producers on YouTube getting huge views on any particular live stream topic? If so, you can write in the comment and I will check them out, their channels. But I will no longer do any pure music education, well, maybe once in a while, but not focus on that at least. So one epic music album or a dark ambient music album for this year. I'm leaning towards dark ambient music because I don't know why, I'm always attracted to that dark. Actually, do you want to hear some dark ambient music? Let's listen to my other artist's project, Dark Domains, which actually has pretty decent, almost 3,000 monthly listeners. Now, prepare for some dark vibes. Let's increase the volume a bit. I love this type of dark vibe. For some reason, it just takes me to another world of mystery. And I've always been attracted. I know it's not what will be played on the radio, because normal people don't listen to dark, ominous, mysterious music like this, but yeah. So I might do like a collaboration with myself, with Dark Domains and my Baggström project, and do a dark fantasy music album. I think actually now, dark ambient. Let's decide that now. I'm going to do an album of dark ambient fantasy music. I like the way you convey knowledge, especially about logic. Your productions are on my playlist. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me, and still, I will not quit it completely, but I think I will do some kind of semi-live Logic Pro. Logic Pro education videos, long form, and try out if I do a semi-live, like 30-minute video. I don't know. I want to see this. If you can find any topic that can get me views every single day, like the music reaction videos, not my music tips and tricks and education videos. Oh yeah, the chat. Or the poll. Yeah, dark atmospheric music actually won. Is it? I always found it really interesting. Is it a bit too loud? I don't know. Can you hear me over the music? I think I have auto ducking, side chaining on my microphone activated in my live streaming app. If I increase this, can you now hear when I talk into the microphone that the music is lowered and raised when I quit? Now I'll turn down the volume. Did you hear did the automatic side chaining on my voice work on top of the music? Let me know in the comments so I know that my setup is working. Yeah, thank you so much. Good that things are working. But basically what I wanted to say is, isn't it interesting that what we love as music composers and producers is often so far from what the overall population wants and listens to? I mean, when I talk to fellow music composers like you guys in the chat here, many of us love dark, gritty, ominous, mysterious music like this. But practically no one of my normal friends that don't do music, I mean, they think this is like strange music. Or maybe they think, okay, so it's like gay music or film music, but they would never listen to it. I can listen to this music in my headphones, like when I go for a walk or sit and work on a video script and write and stuff. But it's basically what I want to say is that music composers and producers, we really are a different breed of people in my experience. Text Todd Stevens, it all sounds good. Yeah. Where were we? Let's go back. I lost track of the focus. So I will do a dark ambient fantasy music album this year, and featuring basically Bardstorm, featuring Dark Domains. Chebure, yeah, genres for listeners and genres for musicians. I think I read a study somewhere that creative people, artists like us, we love minor scales, dark modes, like the Phrygian mode. For example, we love tension, dissonance. But normal people love uplifting, major, happy vibes. I mean, it's really hard to find someone calling himself or herself a music composer that prefers uplifting, happy music. It's like, I don't think I'd ever found a music composer preferring happy music compared to emotional and darker vibes of music. So it's really different from the normal non-musicians, basically. By the way, do you have any goals for like your own music journey in terms of like followers, listeners? Are you going to publish a full album this year, for example? Savannah, yeah. It's kind of true. Yeah, I feel that when I talk to fellow music producers and composers, we all love that dark vibe. I mean, I can... let's say... music from Dark Souls, which I love, for example. Super, super mysterious and ominous. But normal people would never listen to it. I mean, if they listen to any type of film or soundtrack or cinematic music, it might be like only the top famous composers. But I can listen to... I don't even know who has composed... Who was the composer for Dark Souls. I just love the music. Or, for example, the atmospheric, almost melancholic and minimalistic music from Skyrim, which I know was composed by Jeremy Soule, and normal people really don't listen to it, but we composers do. Dark electronic vibes, dark orchestral, yeah. I always gravitate towards... It's basically the reason I bought... Let's see if you can see this, if I switch the camera to here. Ancient instruments like this one, my tagelharpa, is because I love the dark, gritty, ancient vibe of it. I have a bunch of instruments like that. Even have this ancient Guduk cello, which is basically a Slavic ancient instrument in a bigger version. Tune it down, of course. Why would you tune up? You always tune down, right? That thing I know. Have you ever heard of a guitarist who tune up compared to the standard tuning? No, we tune down. So it's something we composers always seem to gravitate towards. Darker, deeper, more mystery. Oh yeah, so that is one album. Maybe I will do some tests. Brand partners, please. Who of you guys do any like content yourself on YouTube and or something? because it's a lot of work, let me tell you that. So, and also, do you have any specific like business goals or personal goals for this year? Getting a new job or career? For me, I really would love a career as a social media manager, content creator, either hired for something here in Sweden. If I could choose, I would of course want to work with a music plugin sample library developer like this I mentioned as an example. We have in Sweden, we have, I don't know if you know this, but Sweden, we have Softtube. If you use those plugins, they are actually from Sweden. Not from my city, but in Sweden. Excellent Audio, which do addictive drums and addictive keys, for example, also in Sweden. Then we have Reason Studios, also from Sweden. Those are the ones I can think of. I mean, that would be a dream to get a job as the social media manager, content creator for those companies. Let's see. Dark atmospheric music. I will end the poll now. That one won. Can you still see it in the chat? Yeah. It's fun to learn these new features in the YouTube app. Apparently I'm recording this as well, but I think if things are set up properly, that this live stream will like turn it automatically into a video on my channel afterwards. I don't know if anyone will watch it because it's basically just chatting with you guys here and brainstorming about, voila, the 2026 focus and goals. Let's see, Savannah, I only upload music to YouTube every now and then, but I also put a lot of work in editing the videos, getting artists for background music. Yeah, I mean, I would assume that the only way to get views on music on YouTube is to do like proper music videos, but that takes money, time, equipment. I don't even know. Some people can do it, I cannot. But doing music videos, I don't know if music videos get any views these days. I grew up in the MTV era, so I actually watched a lot of music videos, even on YouTube. But I don't even watch music videos that much anymore, so I don't know if those get views. Only using images does not really work anymore. Let's see, Todd. This year I'm going to build an album for precisely these fragments. Let's see if I release it. First, I have to like it myself, and I am my own. We are always our own harshest critic. Isn't it true? I think creative people, music composers, musicians, all kinds of artists, we are even more critical of our own work than normal people doing whatever job or of their work. I mean, it's just my impression that we are overly critical towards what we create. But I've been composing and producing music for 25 years now, so I've learned over the years to just release, because nothing will ever be perfect, but we owe it to ourselves and the world to just put it out there, release it, and really just move on to the next project. So I think that has become one of my core strengths as a composer, is that I pretty much always finish a track I'm working on. I know a lot of composers and producers like do an 8-bar, 16-bar section, an intro, a chorus only, and then quit the project in their DAW and don't really finish it. But I always finish my tracks, basically always. So, how long have you been streaming for? I don't even see a timer anywhere in the dashboard, but I feel that I have been talking a lot. So I need to take a break for my voice. So I think I'm going to quit it right here. This is my track. We're watching on In Darkness We Trust, from Dark Vibes from the Underworld. I'm going to finish by giving you a link to my Dark Domains Spotify profile. This is the album, in case you want to follow me there. And I hope to see you next live stream, which I'm not sure when it's going to be, but I'm going to do a live reaction stream on the Elden Ring main game soundtrack and pick some of the top tracks so we can listen to them together, react and analyze and just engage with each other in the chat. Thank you so much. Oh, it's that camera. Thank you so much for being here today. I wish you an amazing day, evening, and I hope to see you next time. Cheers and have a good day.